We are coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios. This is Prime News on SABC 3. Here's what's dominating in your leads at this hour.
If you kill Americans, if you threaten Americans anywhere on earth, we will hunt you down without apology and without hesitation, and we will kill you.
As concerns mount across the globe, the United States has issued a warning that attacks on Americans will not be tolerated. 7 U.S. servicemen are now being known to have been killed in the conflict, while more than 500 Iranians have been killed since Saturday. Meanwhile, South African motorists will have to dig deeper into their pockets this month. The Department of Mineral and Petroleum Resources says that this is partly due to higher international oil prices as the tensions continue between the USA and Iran. And private investigator Sullivan will be back before the ad hoc committee on Thursday to finish his testimony after walking out of the committee last week without permission. A very good evening to you in this brand new week and month of March. My name is Beki Mutumomolete and you are watching Prime News on SABC 3. We will bring you the latest updates and transformation as it happens in your world. Let's take a look at what's making headlines this evening. Here are your leads. Johannesburg MMC for Public Safety Mgcini Chwaku says an investigation is underway following a building collapse that claimed the lives of 6 people in Omonde on Monday afternoon. Initial reports indicate that at least 12 construction workers were present on site when the 2-story structure abruptly hit the ground. Search and rescue teams have confirmed that 2 people have been located under the rubble and 3 others are yet to be accounted for. The cause of the building collapse is currently unknown. The SABC would like to warn viewers of the graphic content about to be shown.
Now, at this point in time, there's a building here that's actually under construction. Still have to engage with the contractor that is here today. And what we've gathered that is that we've got 5 there were 12 people in total, and then there's 5 people missing. And there are 4 P4s, that they are fatalities. And then we've got 3 P1s, people that are trapped in. There's one that, we can hear them talking. The guys are busy with them. But one is trapped. There's a leg, the guy, they're building a slab, so it's a collapse of a slab. So it collapsed up on top of the guy. So they are trapped. The other one now is, his leg is trapped, so they have conducted the surgeon from one of the hospitals to come and check and advise us. We might have to amputate because the slab is on top of the leg.
Now on to your news making international headlines. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says that military operations against Iran would not lead to an endless war, though he and other leaders acknowledge that the operation will take time. He was briefing the media on the U.S. military operations against Iran this afternoon. In the early hours of Saturday, the United States and Israel carried out a coordinated and large-scale military operation targeting multiple locations across Iran. Hegseth says that the aim was to destroy Tehran's missiles, navy and other security infrastructure and deny Iran a nuclear weapon.
Last June, Operation Midnight Hammer obliterated their nuclear program to rubble. Afterward, we told them plainly, that's it, now make a deal. They arrogantly refused. We said, rebuild it, and we'll stop you again, this time far worse. Well, President Trump, Secretary Rubio, Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, they bent over backwards for real diplomacy, offering pathway after pathway to peace. I watched it. I was there. They tried over and over and over again earnest attempts at peace. The former regime had every chance to make a peaceful and sensible deal. But Tehran was not negotiating. They were stalling, buying time to reload their missile stockpiles and restart their nuclear ambitions. Their goal, hold us hostage, threatening to strike our forces. Well, President Trump doesn't play those games. And as Secretary Rubio said after the Maduro raid, if you don't know, now you know. President Trump puts America and Americans first. He doesn't hesitate, and neither do our troops.
Meanwhile, Iran's retaliatory strikes have now stretched as far as Cyprus. A drone strike hit Britain's Royal Air Force base of Akrotiri in Cyprus overnight, causing limited damage and no casualties, according to the island's president and Britain's defense ministry. The first attack on British military facilities since a rocket attack by Libyan militants in 1986. The incident represents a marked escalation in the conflict. President Nikos Christodoulides said in a speech that the Shahed-type unmanned aerial vehicle had caused minor damage when it crashed into the military facilities just after midnight. It was not immediately clear from where the Iranian-made Shahed had been fired. In more related news, a KwaZulu-Natal-based travel agency says that it has helped bring at least 150 South Africans back home in the past 48 hours as tensions escalate in the Middle East. Today, a group of 50 pilgrims from Cape Town, Durban and Johannesburg finally touched down through partnerships with African Airlines. Most South Africans assisted were on pilgrimage in Mecca, in the Hejaz region of Western Saudi Arabia, to partake in the Umrah pilgrimage during the final days of Ramadan.
A grueling 48-hour race against time for South African travel agents. A massive logistical operation has successfully brought home at least 150 citizens who had traveled to Saudi Arabia for the Ramadan pilgrimage by rerouting through African carriers like Ethiopian Airlines and Egypt Air. To bypass the closed skies, airlines were forced to push flights through Europe or deeper into Africa, a move that travel agents say significantly increased travel times and costs. Many navigated a grueling long-haul detour through Europe from Saudi Arabia. Travel agents say hundreds of tourists remain stranded in Dubai as the United Arab Emirates airspace remains closed following recent military strikes involving Iran, Israel and the United States.
We had pilgrims from Cape Town, Johannesburg and Durban, and that was a group of 50 pilgrims, just one flight. And we had to bring them back home on the services of Egypt Airlines, an African carrier that came to the rescue, and they obviously brought our people back home. They arrived this morning back home. They left on Sunday. We had a long transit in Cairo, where we obviously gave them some tours in Cairo, and late last night they left from Cairo and returned back to South African shores this morning.
Despite the tensions, travel agents say many devotees remain determined to complete their pilgrimage for the remainder of Ramadan. For SABC News, I am Jade Paulser in Durban.
When we return, private investigator Paul Sullivan will be back before the ad hoc committee on Thursday to finish his testimony after walking out of the committee last week without permission. We'll bring you more details after the break. Welcome back to Prime News on 3. Private investigator Paul O'Sullivan will be back before the ad hoc committee on Thursday to finish his testimony after walking out of the committee last week without permission. The committee unanimously agreed that O'Sullivan must still be pursued for contempt of Parliament conduct. A legal opinion also suggests that he potentially committed a statutory offence through his actions. This has emerged in a virtual meeting of the ad hoc committee investigating allegations of criminal infiltration, corruption and political interference in the criminal justice system. Meanwhile, Northwest businessman Brian Mthatha, the alleged fixer between politicians and alleged cartel members, was a no-show before the Madlanga Commission. Mthatha claimed to be ill shortly before his testimony was set to commence at 9:30 a.m. on Monday. Mthatha has until the end of day to produce a medical certificate as he runs the risk of being held in contempt.
As we indicated last week, the Commission is taking very seriously these sick notes and witnesses falling ill at the last minute. Now, to answer your question, Mr. Mthatha had not until this morning indicated that he is apparently ill. And as you heard, during the brief proceedings this morning, he has indicated to the Chief Evidence Leader, Matthew Chaskelson, SC, that he would be seeking medical attention and furnish the Commission with a medical certificate.
The matter will stand down till Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. when high-ranking Gauteng SABC official Major General Richard Shibiri is expected to take to the stand. We now move on to this. DA Member of Parliament Siviwe Gwahube has thrown her hat in the ring and is running for the Deputy Federal Chairperson position at the party's Federal Congress in April. Gwahube, who is also the Minister of Basic Education in the Government of National Unity, is among a crop of young, vibrant and talented politicians in the DA. Before her appointment as a minister in July 2024, the 36-year-old previously served as chief whip of the official opposition in Parliament and the DA's national spokesperson. Vacant positions that will be contested at the DA's Federal Congress include that of federal leader, federal chairperson, 3 deputy federal chairpersons, chairperson of the Federal Council, and 3 deputy chairpersons of the Federal Council. The influential federal leader post will become vacant next month when incumbent John Steenhuisen concludes his 3-year second term. The current executive mayor of the city of Cape Town, Jordan Heer-Lewis, has emerged as a frontrunner to succeed Steenhuisen. Meanwhile, the DA's Gauteng leader, Solim Simanga, is touted as the next federal chairperson, with Gwahube as one of his 3 deputies. In other news, traffic in Mthatha in the Eastern Cape was disrupted earlier when the victims of the June 2025 floods protested. At the top of their demands are promised houses after being relocated from the flood plain. The protesters disrupted traffic as they blocked all entry points to the town.
The police reacted to the protest with tear gas and rubber bullets to disperse the crowd. Some of the flood victims were relocated to temporary structures at Maiden Farm, and those whose houses were partially damaged in Mthatha West are also demanding to be permanently relocated from the area. The protesters are demanding answers from the government. We want government to relocate us from what was declared a danger zone by the very government. The president of the country declared this a national disaster, so we want to be moved out of this place. King Sabata Dalingebo local municipality says the relocation process of the outstanding flood victims is underway. The residents are calling on national government to intervene in the matter. Meanwhile, police have been deployed in the area to monitor the situation. I'm Gululeko Nyembezi, SABC News, Mthatha.
After the break, South African motorists will have to dig deeper into their pockets this month. Diesel will also go up by between 62 and 65 cents a litre, while illuminating paraffin will increase by 44 cents per litre. Thank you for staying with us. Agriculture Minister John Steenhuisen says that President Cyril Ramaphosa has authorized an interministerial committee to look into the regional approach to combating the foot and mouth disease outbreak. Steenhuisen has confirmed that there is a unique challenge of cross-border infections with other provinces and neighboring countries. The minister fears outbreaks in Lesotho and Eswatini can be detrimental to the Free State province and other parts of the country.
At Cabinet last week has authorised an IMC, Interministerial Committee, which will include the Department of Agriculture, the Department of Home Affairs, who manage the Border Management Agency, the Department of International Relations, and the Department of Defence, to call an urgent SADC meeting to deal with the issue of how we have a regionalised approach to dealing with foot and mouth disease.
South African motorists will have to dig deeper into their pockets in the month of March. The Department of Minerals and Petroleum Resources has announced that a litre of 93 and 95 octane petrol will increase by 20 cents per litre. Diesel will also go up by between 62 and 65 cents a litre, while illuminating paraffin will increase by 44 cents per litre. According to the department, this can be attributed to higher international prices of oil due to the tensions in the Middle East that began in the month of February.
The Department of Mineral and Petroleum Resources announcement on changes to the fuel prices will see a slight rise in petrol and diesel prices for March, including the prices of illuminated paraffin. The department spokesperson Robert Make says the adjustments can be attributed to various factors during the period under review, including higher international prices.
The following fuel prices will be effective on Wednesday, the 4th of March 2026. Petrol, both grades, will increase by 20 cents a litre. Diesel will increase by 62 and 65 cents per litre. Paraffin at retail level will increase by 58 cents per litre. LP gas will increase by 23 cents per kilogram countrywide and 26 cents per kilogram in Saldanha. The reason for this adjustment are the higher Brent crude oil prices on average due to tension between USA and Iran.
The economists say all eyes remain on developments in the Middle East and the future impacts of the clashes after the oil price jumped as much as 13% at the open of markets this week to hit $82 a barrel. Katlawa Logodi, SABC News in Johannesburg.
And on that note, it is now time for us to take a look at your latest market snapshot, reflecting the day's trading activity as recorded at 7:30 this evening. Just call in the shots and your forecast is in. Let us see if we can expect a perfect storm or if it's clear sailing ahead. Your forecast is coming up next.
Thank you very much and a very warm welcome to the weather desk. Time for us to look at those conditions over the country now. The trough that's sitting over the central parts of the country still causing widespread showers and thunder showers as we move towards Mpumalanga, stretching into parts of Limpopo, scattered over Gauteng, stretching towards Polokwane, all the way into KwaZulu-Natal for tonight. So rainy conditions expected over that eastern half of the country. Clear conditions for tonight over Bloemfontein, Upington, stretching all the way into the mother cities. George expecting a cloudy night for tonight. For tomorrow, that's when we're still expecting rainy conditions over Limpopo, especially as we move towards Musina. We're expecting widespread showers and thunder showers for tomorrow, just scattered over that low field of Mpumalanga. Moving into the interior of Mpumalanga, stretching towards KwaZulu-Natal and Johannesburg, it's just isolated showers and thunder showers for tomorrow, which means that it will rain in places over those areas. Morning fog patches over Free State, stretching into that interior of KwaZulu-Natal, stretching into parts of the Eastern Cape, which means that visibility will be reduced in the morning. So please, let's be careful, especially those who will be driving. It is still clear as we move into that interior of the Western Cape, stretching all the way towards that interior of the Northern Cape for tomorrow. For tonight, it is up to level 4 warning of severe thunderstorm as we move towards Limpopo and Mpumalanga, especially over that low field of Mpumalanga. Level 2 as we move into Pretoria, moving all the way towards Tavazimbi. To remember, these severe thunderstorms can be accompanied by large amount of small hail, heavy downpours which can lead to flooding in places, and also possibilities of strong damaging winds and lightning. So please, let's be careful over those areas. For tomorrow, it is just a level 2 warning of severe thunderstorm over that interior of Limpopo. Bloemfontein, expecting dry and windy conditions. Temperatures are high. As a result, we do expect those runaway fire conditions for tomorrow. Overnight temperatures, it is going to be a cool day. A cool night rather over Johannesburg with a low of 15, 18 over Polokwane, 20 over Musina. Cold conditions over Sunderland, the low of 3. Maximum temperatures for tomorrow, 24 over Sunderland. Hot conditions over Upington with a high of 35, 25 over Pretoria. Musina also expecting a warm day tomorrow with a high of 25. That's all the weather I have for you. Stay tuned.
That is all we have for tonight. Time for tonight. We will be back with you again tomorrow evening. Make sure to tune in and stay tuned with Prime News on SABC 3. Until then, from myself, Becky, and the team, stay ahead. Good night.